Meanwhile, at Auburn, the coaching search is entering a very critical 48 to 72 hour period. As I've told you, never speak in days when it comes to coaching searches and recruiting. Only speak in terms of hour intervals: 24, 36, 48, 72, 96. If you want to really get out there towards the end of the week and go with the 120 hour down the road model, that's mainly for like the GFS and Euro tracking for meteorology, but it's interview week at Auburn. Interview week is here. Now, our folks over at auburnundercover.com have reported Steve Sarkisian's going to get interviewed, Alabama offensive coordinator. Kevin Steele, of course, going to get an interview. Brent Venables, defensive coordinator from Clemson. Billy Napier, been really quiet down there. So Billy Napier at Louisiana, he's going to get an interview here. Now, I told you late last week, I had been hearing that Neil Brown was a serious contender. He's the current head coach at West Virginia. He was at Troy before that. He knows that area very well. The folks over at Auburn Undercover reported that today. So that's a second confirmation, just past little old me, that's telling you, yeah, Neil Brown's in this. Bill Clark, according to our folks over at Auburn Undercover from UAB, he will get an interview. Tony Elliott, offensive coordinator at Clemson, not going to get an interview. I think they reported he has declined. So I'm shady on the details there, but it looks like Elliott is out. That's according to auburnundercover.com. So I want to touch on Bill Clark for a second. I'm from the South. Bill Clark is from the South. He has been at UAB, and then they shut down the program, and then they decided to have a program again, and now he's winning again. Everyone in the South that wants to prove their football IQ to you, they all go to the same well. They all tell you, yeah, Saban's good, but man, you know who's really good? Bill Clark. And they're counting on you not knowing who Bill Clark is, so then they can really impress you with the fact that they know a lot about University of Alabama, Birmingham football. And really, if you pressed them on it, they wouldn't know all that much, because they really just know Bill Clark does an amazing job, which he does. I'm not raining on Bill Clark. I love the guy. Like, he's incredible. But that's the first thing that people down in the South do. The second thing that people who are actually plugged in the South will do is they'll tell you, it'd be really hard to ever get Bill Clark away from UAB. There are several different reasons for that. It's a pretty unique structure there. So there are several different reasons for that. But the bottom line is, it's long been thought he's not leaving UAB. He's going to be there unless just the perfect opportunity presents itself. Has anything changed there? I don't know. I have no way of knowing that. I do not know Bill Clark personally. But when we're looking at him, and then we zoom out and we look at all of these candidates, here's the thing that you need to ask. Well, a couple of things. So first, how much are these interviews going to matter? Because there are a couple of schools of thought here with the Auburn coaching search, and one is they're all just window dressing and quota meeting. The other is it's a legitimate process. So how much has anything really changed? Because there was a very popular narrative that Kevin Steele was the guy there. I think that was partially the case, but I don't think he was the guy to the point where it was a foregone conclusion. Enough of the decision makers were ready to stamp their approval on it. I think there were just some people who really liked Kevin Steele. So here's the question. Now you get into the interview process. Let's say for a second it is legitimate. The question you need to be asking, because this is the question candidates will ask, is how much control is Auburn University willing to give a football coach? Kirby Smart interviewed for this job several years ago. Kirby Smart wanted the job several years ago. Kirby Smart did not get this job because he demanded full control. He saw how his mentor, Nick Saban, was doing things at Alabama. He knew he was going to have to compete against Nick Saban. Kirby Smart needed everything from Auburn that Georgia eventually gave Kirby Smart. He knew, if I don't get all 10 of these boxes checked, I'm never going to be able to beat him. It's going to be an uphill climb. It's going to be the fight of my life, even if I do get all the boxes checked. But I'm not about to go into a place, no matter how much money they're going to pay me, I'm not about to go into a place with one arm handcuffed behind my back and yet be asked to beat Nick Saban. I'm not doing that. Kirby Smart did not do that, and he ended up going to Georgia, and they've had success at Georgia. Steve Sarkisian is going to ask for the same things Kirby Smart did. Brent Venables is going to ask for the same things Kirby Smart did. Any of these guys are. They have options. Any guys with options are going to demand the sun, moon, and stars. And if you give it to them, they may take the job. Therein lies my question. Is this process set up to check some boxes on Auburn's part? Knowing full well these guys are going to demand everything, knowing full well we're not giving it to them, so we can say we gave it the good old college try, but they wanted too much, so we're going with the guy we wanted all along. Because if you end up with Kevin Steele, for example, as your head coach. That's how it's going to go. You're going to be told, not directly, you're going to be told indirectly through leaks and whatnot. You're going to be told, we interviewed Brent Venables. We interviewed Steve Sarkisian. They wanted too many things that we couldn't budge on. No, they're going to want the same things that the other guys have. Are you willing to give it to them? Not you, the decision makers at Auburn. Are they willing to give it to them? That's what's going to decide the Auburn coaching search. I don't know what the timetable there is either. I don't think you'll have like a Christmas decision. Who knows? There have been far more Auburn things than that, announcing a coach on Christmas, so we'll see how that goes. A reminder, by the way, a lot of you are watching live. Several more of you are going to watch the replay. Make sure you subscribe to the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. We don't have a live show coming up again until Sunday, so if something pops, not going to be here live for it. We're going to have immediate reaction, though, on the YouTube channel.